Hey there, welcome back to An Introvert's Paradise. I'm Kendrick Kaiju, and today, let's talk about the story mode. I've been giving it a lot of thought lately, thinking about how it could work. Like, what would it take for it to be good? Because even though I don't feel like we need a story mode right now, I think right now it should be all hands on deck, everybody focused, and working on making inZOI the best damn life sim it could possibly be, improving upon what we already have now, while adding in new things to complement that, and giving us a more full and complete life sim experience. But it would appear that K-Jun and his team have a different point of view on that. Because not only does he not think that it's something that should be put on the back burner, he deemed it important enough for them to have worked on it, and it's going to be releasing in the near future, probably with the December update. Because in one of his most recent posts on Discord, K-Jun talks about how he and his team have taken the community's feedback and have improved the game based on it. But there's one recurring topic that they still need to tackle. And I quote, "A clear core gameplay loop with purpose, rewards, and repeatable progression." End quote. And they're going to be introducing something called Fate Engine to address that. And what Fate Engine is, it's a random button that shuffles the world settings completely. And the examples they provided here are, you might suddenly wake up as the youngest son of a billionaire family, or find yourself in a haunted house where your smiling family insists, "Everything's fine here." Or maybe you'll start as the head of a poor family with 10 children. Now this is interesting. This is not what I expected. It kind of reminds me of the alternate start mod from Skyrim and Fallout 4, where you start off your new game under completely different circumstances. I gotta say, I didn't see this coming. I didn't see them taking a page from Skyrim. But if you're gonna take a page from somebody, Skyrim's probably a good one to take a page from. Just don't re-release it like 4 or 5 times. Give us Elder Scrolls 6, damn it. But I assume the Fate Engine is gonna be more random than that, because I think in those mods there was only a handful of different alternate starts you can have. Hopefully this one at launch gives us like 10 different options, and they just keep adding to it over time. Now, the first question that pops into my head though is, am I waking up as my own character? Or do I wake up playing somebody completely different? Because if it's the latter, I'm not interested in it. Because with all due respect, if I'm playing as a character who's not me or somebody that I created, I wouldn't play inZOI. Because if I'm looking for an epic story with a character that's beyond anything that I could ever come up with, I'm playing Final Fantasy Rebirth. But to be fair, I do think this is an interesting approach to it. This is not what I was thinking of when they talked about doing a story mode. It's still not my cup of tea. I don't think I'll be engaging with this very much. I'm sure I'll have a look at it so we can talk about it. But in general, this is not how I play life sims. Life sims to me, because that's why when he says he needs to tackle finding a clear core gameplay loop, purpose, rewards, and repeatable progression, I'm like, but we already have that. Because to me, a life simulation game has always been getting the chance to live the dream life, having the dream job, getting the dream girl, driving the dream car. Well, not so much in The Sims 4, but in The Sims 3, and even in The Sims 2 to an extent. But it's always been about having this sandbox and being able to create, to express yourself, and again, to live that dream life. And I feel like it's there. We have that in inZOI. Does it need some work? Absolutely. We're not there yet. But with every single update, we're getting closer. The ZOIs feel more realistic. There's more to do. The game is becoming more and more immersive. So I think that's where we need to put our focus. And maybe it is, because if you look at the wording, K-Jun does say, and to address this, they're coming up with the Fate Engine. So does that mean this is the solution, this is the story mode. Just going off of the wording, it seems like it, right? It's at least a possibility that this is it. You guys wanted story mode? Well, here's a story mode. And on one hand, I'm definitely okay with that, because there's plenty of work to be done on the main game, on the life simulation side of things. Because reading Alex from Paralive's post, their K-June, he referred to making Paralives as basically making 3 different games. And they didn't have a story mode, so when you add in a story mode in Inzoi, that's like making a 4th game. So when I put it like that, they're realistically taking a significant amount of resources away from other things that they should be working on right now. Like, for example, a character creator that allows you to pick different eyes, different nose, different mouth. You know what I'm talking about. Let's get more things to do in the open world. Let's get better things to do in the open world. And not for nothing, it's gonna be version 1 of Stores that's coming in December. Well, let's make sure we have all hands on deck working on version 2 and version 3. But with that being said, even though I'm okay if that is story mode, I feel like there could be a better story mode. If we're gonna do story mode, it could be much better than that. Because when I was thinking story mode, I was thinking a full-blown story that you play through. Whereas these, even though I think they're all interesting ideas, they're all an interesting premise, but that's all it is, it's a premise, it's a circumstance. Sure, it's definitely going to affect how you play the game, because if you're a billionaire, you're not working, what do you do with your time? Or whereas if you're from a poor family of 10 children, you might be working a part-time job after school. So there's something there, don't get me wrong. But I was thinking, in a story mode, give us a super compelling story. And I know they could deliver on it, because Inzoi is made in South Korea, the land of the K-dramas. And Krafton has money, so go and hire somebody. Go and hire an established K-drama writer. Because in a life sim story mode, story would be everything. Because there's limited game mechanics that could help build some of the emotion. Because it's basically walk up to this person, click on them, click on an interaction option, or walk over there and click on that and pick one of the interaction options. That's kind of it for gameplay mechanics. So it's all dependent on the storyline to do with all the emotional work. And what I mean by that is, for example, I've been playing a lot of Where Winds Meet lately, and they get a lot of things right in that game. There's a lot of things that Inzoi could learn from them. And there was one part of the story the story itself was really good, the stakes were really high, so it already had me going emotionally, but then you mixed in these really tense fights, capped off with a very challenging boss fight. So I went through this roller coaster of emotions, from excited and thrilled to scared to worried to nervous to straight up being sad within the span of, I don't know, maybe like 20-30 minutes, to the point where after that boss battle, I had to be like, I need to walk away, I need to quit this and walk away for a second because I am exhausted. But in Inzoi, we wouldn't be able to do any of that. It would strictly be, you gotta have a great storyline and characters that we care about and that we're rooting them on. We don't want anything bad to happen to them. Because that's the thing with Inzoi. They haven't done a great job of creating characters, memorable characters. Because in The Sims, of course, there's Mortimer and Bella Goth. They're pretty iconic in this space. But then there's other people that I just recognize. I don't know them by name. There's like those couple of jacked guys, those 2 gym rats. And wasn't there a family called the Calientes? There was a Swedish family, the Bergesons or something. Wasn't there I think she might have been Korean, certainly an Asian girl. I think she had turquoise hair. Now, why I remember her is because she lived by herself on a lot that was in prime time real estate. So I always evicted her and took over her lot in order to build a house there. And even though I can't name a bunch of characters, at least I recognize a bunch of characters. Whereas in Inzoi, not only could I not name one single character, one single townie, I couldn't even describe one to you. I have no idea which of them live in the city, which of them that I could technically play with in the game. So if they're gonna do a story mode, like a proper one, let's introduce some really memorable characters. And even if we have a really great story to do all the heavy lifting for us emotionally, it would still be useful to add some new gameplay mechanics. It opens up the possibility to different scenarios and storytelling. Maybe something as simple as adding a jump feature, a crouch feature, maybe a take cover feature so we can follow people around. I'm just spitballing here, but you know what I mean. I think those would be great additions to have regardless if we get a story mode or not. But shy of adding those things in, I suppose we'd have to add in some cutscenes. So that even if we as players can't do some of these things, at least the characters should be able to. They should be able to do whatever the story needs of them. And it certainly wouldn't need to be anything crazy. It wouldn't need to be like a Final Fantasy VII cutscene, like pre-rendered type of thing. No, I assume it would be in-game, but just with a cinematic camera. That's something they should add anyway. Oh, and one thing that they should really take from Where Winds Meet, in fact, I think they're going to do it because I'm pretty certain Keijun talked about it at one point, whether it was in a video or one of his Discord posts. He talked about us being able to type in dialogue. Like instead of choosing something from the interaction wheel, we come up with what we want to say. I'm pretty sure I've seen them talk about that. I don't know if they're working on it currently, but if they're not, they need to be working on it. Because they have that feature in Where Winds Meet, where you talk to an AI chatbot, you type in whatever you want to say to them, and it is so engaging, it is so good. That game's got plenty going for it, plenty going on at any given time, but having the AI chatbot adds yet another interesting layer. It's a good feature to have in Where Winds Meet. It would be a major feature to have in inZOI. Oh, it's not lost on me that AI is going to be the end of us. But at this point, it's inevitable. Let's just enjoy the ride. We won't like where we end up, but we can enjoy the journey there. And I'm enjoying using that chatbot in Where Winds Meet so much. Like, you can't do it for everybody. It's not everybody that you run into has that feature, but the people you can befriend have it. And it is so engaging, so much fun. It's so cool to be able to just say what you want to say, like to respond the way you want to respond. And I didn't even notice at the beginning, but they give you a little blurb. They outline what the person needs from you in order for you to befriend them. So in the beginning, I was just having genuine conversations with these characters. And this AI chatbot is so good because whatever I say, it understands and it replies really, really quickly, like another person would. Yes, I understand, I just described Skynet. But it's okay, I've made my peace with it. I've literally said in the past, just hold off on the Armageddon until I get my hands on inZOI and Where Winds Meet. Both have now been complete. I accept whatever fate Skynet brings. But as I was saying, I was just having genuine conversations with these characters, and more often than not, it would lead me to being their friends. A couple times it led to them trying to kill me, but even that's a lot of fun. Like the first person, because it felt like a person, but the first character I made a connection with, I won't spoil anything, but it was a mother and her child. And I started talking to them, and she was like, oh, it's just me and my child now, and we're really struggling. Now, in real life, I wouldn't say it. I would think it, but I wouldn't say it because I think it'd be rude. But I was just like, oh, you and your child, where's your husband? And it turns out, remember that storyline I was telling you about earlier, the one that like really got me going? So this was right after it, and she references that incident as to why her husband died. And I was like, oh my God, like it hit me to the core. Because I was still dealing with it. I was still struggling with it. I was still sad and broken up about it. And here's another person who is going through the exact same thing. And I so badly wanted to help her and her child. I just offered. I was like, how can I help you? Is there anything I can do? And she was like, actually, anything will do. I'm really struggling right now. were hardly getting by, and I was just like, well, I have food. Because I knew I had these damn beef stews. Why I say damn beef stews is because I tried to use their slot machine to get me some cosmetics, but instead of cosmetics, I got beef stew. So I was just thinking, perfect, she can take these off my hand so I can forget the disappointment of ending up with these over, a nice outfit. But more importantly, it would help her out, help her, feed her and her son. So I was just like, take these beef stews. And she was so happy and she instantly befriended me, which was so rewarding. And I legit, every time I pass her now, I stop to have a conversation with her and her son. The only problem I have with that chatbot is everything that you say, the conversation you have, doesn't actually change the game. Like, what's crazy is they'll remember the conversations we had. Like, at one point, because all I do now is, like, I offer this lady help with getting a house and giving her money. And I was so surprised one time she was like, she greeted me with, "Oh, hey there, Wanderer. Any news about that house?" I was like, oh my god, she remembered the last conversation we had? And I wanted to just be like, yeah, can we just go and look for a house for you? I will buy it. Because in that game, it's so easy to get coins. Like in Inzo, I'm poor always. Unless I put in the cheat code, I'm always poor. But in that game, I have to try really hard to spend that money. But you can't. Because I've offered other characters to just go for a walk to help clear their head, to hopefully help them with their troubles a little bit. And in the story, we go for a walk, but we're still physically standing right there. If Inzoi could figure out the next level, where whatever you say in the chatbot actually has in-game consequences, oh, then never mind just being a game changer. That's a game industry changer. If you can dictate what happens in the game and where the game goes and basically write your own story, they need to patent that because nothing will be the same after that. So I don't know if it's possible. I mean, listen, when Skynet becomes sentient, anything's possible, but we might not be around to enjoy it. But for now, I don't know if it's possible, but if they can figure it out. That's your story mode right there. You would just set up the circumstances, and then away you go. The player comes up with the rest of it. That's the greatest story mode of all time. Because if you can make anything you want to happen in the game happen, nothing can top that. But I think that's enough from me for today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for giving me your time. Thank you to anyone who subscribed. Thank you for all your likes. We'll talk soon, okay? But until then, you take good care of yourself and just make it through another day.
So 1, 2.